How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and it's not really a mission today going on. Well, there's one in the background just to get some footage. I'm doing the Creek Bridge mission on my second playthrough with mods. This is the electric pay start. It's just something I thought I'd test around while I'm doing it. I'm only going to the construction zone 1 for fuel. Anyway, yeah, this video is basically about phase 4, just kind of letting you know what's going on, what I've heard. I mean, this is not the latest, greatest, brand new information. It's probably about a week old or whatever, but I've heard little bits and bobs here and there, but if, like me, you haven't specifically gone and kind of sought out what it is they're doing, then you might have just heard little snippets. But yeah, so basically I'll go over, like, on the forum, what they've posted, what's going on, and that's about it. We'll go from there. So, first thing is, new content, new region called Amur, A-M-U-R, Oblast, Amur Oblast. I don't know, sounds like a cliche evil terrorist Bond villain or something. The 4 maps I'm going to possibly henceforth and butcher the names of. Urska River, Cosmodrome, that one's pretty easy. Northern? How did I butcher the one word that's bloody English? Northern Aegis, I believe it is, installation. And, oh god, Chernokamensk? Nailed it. I'm like, you know that woman off Anchorman when she's like, I nailed it. That's how I feel right now. I think we got that one right. Chernokamensk, probably. I won't be saying that about too often. New trucks, Zix 605R. Have no idea what that is, but it'll be good to find out. A Khan 317 Sentinel. That's all it says so far, but apparently there is 5 trucks confirmed. But again, some haven't got textures and so on. Obviously, all these, I don't know if all the maps are, but essentially Phase 4 has been released on the test server for PC. I don't have PC, just got PlayStation, so I kind of got to wait and see what happens. In the way of new skins, paint jobs, etc., the Zix 5368, I assume that's like the off-road snail, just the little Zix crazy thing. TZ 420 Tatrin, that's going to have some kind of unique paint job, I reckon. And the Azov 6 foot, oh, so Azov John, he's going to get some kind of custom paint job, which would be pretty cool. As far as trials goes, one called, oh god, Escape from Tretyakov. It doesn't help that I've got a big fat crack down my screen that's going right through the middle of all these words. Yeah, Escape from Tretyakov. I hope I said that right. The Slope, oh god, Tumania Pass, apparently. And Aftermath, so to be honest, I don't even think I've done the trials on this phase. I kind of forgot about the trials completely. I have to look at them. New game mode, hard mode, right. As a rough kind of, just letting you know what the situation is with hard mode, some of it sounds pretty cool. Again, it's a shame it kind of wasn't from the start of the game, because now, to a degree, it might be a little bit not as, I don't know, might not make a lot of difference. Well, it obviously will in some ways. Anyway, so, disabled ability to sell trailers, and then it just says in brackets, utilise only. Well, I ain't got no problem with just releasing trailers into the wild, but I assume the point of that is you can't go round and grabbing all the trailers and cashing them in, and obviously once you buy a trailer, you've kind of got to look after that trailer, and you might end up having to, you know, take it back to your garage, have like a little area where you park your trailers at the end, and then you keep using them for different missions. That's pretty cool. That's not the end of the world. Like I said, to a degree, you've kind of got to return the trailers to a trailer store anyway to cash them in, so if you're getting back to a trailer store, you may as well just park it next to a trailer store and wait until you need it the next time. So yeah, disabled skip time option. Again, that, like, I like it when it's daytime, but I see why they've done it, so you'll have to suck it up through the night. That is, of course, definitely what she said. Selling trucks for 50% of their cost. So yeah, every time you buy a truck and you sell it, you only get half, which, well, it's not the end of the world. Again, like, it doesn't really matter to me anymore, because could always do like the engine glitch. Oh, somebody did say though, apparently they've patched the engine bug glitch where you can duplicate money, so I appreciate them giving me a heads up, and yeah, for any of you that have been doing that, get your cash now while you can, because they may well patch that for phase 4. Next one, kind of pretty funny really, paid vehicle recovery, so every time you recover to garage you'll have to pay some money. I don't know how much, it doesn't say. Paid vehicle deploy, so what seems a bit odd is that every time you just deploy a vehicle from the garage, you have to pay money. Sounds a bit random, but whatever. Paid repair in the garage, pretty cool, so you basically got to pay for the damage you cause. I will be bankrupt in no time. Paid auto cargo loading. I suppose that's kind of cool, because if you don't manually load the cargo yourself, it's a little bit like when this game first came out, I heard there was going to be you wouldn't be charged for auto loading cargo, but there was supposed to be, if you took a crane and manually loaded it yourself, you'd get a little bonus at the end of the mission. I suppose this is kind of, but instead of giving you a bonus, it's just it won't take any money away from you then if you load it yourself, which again, yeah, makes sense, because like in various missions you can not take a crane with you and just auto load cargo, which essentially makes that mission a little bit easier because the crane adds weight, blah blah blah. So I suppose that's pretty clever. Paid refuel on refuel stations, so you've got to pay for your fuel basically. Implemented search areas for objective on a mini-map instead of direct markers. What I believe that means is, say if there's some kind of, objective on the map, instead of it showing up on my screen, say as we're looking at like the video now, I think it'll show up on your mini-map, but it won't actually show up in the game, if that makes sense. You'll just have to find it kind of naturally, and it won't just tell you where everything is. That's what I think that means. Contests become available after third attempt, so obviously the nice thing with contests is they're repeatable and you can often cash in a lot of money. So yeah, after 3 attempts that's it. I don't even know, well yeah, after third attempt, so you best hope all those 3 attempts are going to be gold runs really, because then it's going to kind of stop you. So it's basically, there's no way of even the long boring way of farming money will be kind of limited to you. So you're going to have to be very careful with your resources if you're going to be like refueling and, you know, like recovering to garage, blah blah blah. You can't sell any trailers and all that. Money is definitely going to be an issue. Apparently as well, in hard mode, obviously, if you've got all the DLC content, when you start a new game, they'll be in your garage. They've also now made sure that they remove that. Bug fixes, I'll just talk through very quick, but they're like, fixed a bug where semi-trailers were not attached properly to the truck's saddle in some cases. Fixed a bug where the client received an unlimited amount of cargo on the loading platform. Fixed a bug where the truck engine automatically turned on after it had been stalled without any player input. Fixed a bug in co-op where the value encounter for created cargo in cargo crafting window increased by 2 points for a single created cargo and decreased after that to the correct value. Fixed overlapping text in unloading pop-up in the contract paper factory, section C. Reduced transparency for total fuel line in generator pop-up. Fixed a bug where log loader crane grab rotation controls were reversed. Good, because that used to drive me mad, that catch me out loads. Fixed a bug in co-op where the sounds of anchors were looped for people, like other players that were returning from a long distance. Fixed a bug in co-op where the amount of fuel in the generator was not immediately updated with the host. Fixed a bug where players were unable to load medium logs from central log station in drowned lands. Fixed a bug when in some cases mods were stuck in a queue on PC or were not downloaded due to an unknown error. Fixed a bug where oil rig drill did not respawn with the restart of the Derrick delivery task. And fixed control issues with the Logitech G923 wheel. Right, truck changes. Improved camera setup in customization screen for Caterpillar CT680. So I think I do remember that. The camera just used to ram too far into the truck and you couldn't really see what was going on. Fixed a bug where mud flaps of the Azov 420 were stretched to the side after exiting the garage. Tweaked steering knuckles on the Western Star 49X front wheels. That won't be a thing for most people as it's a DLC truck. And then it just says additions, added warning message box for situation where a player has a lot of cargo in the trailer and some of it may be removed on cargo packing. Yeah, I suppose I kind of get that. I think what that means is, say you had 6 cargo in a 5-slot trailer, it'll tell you one of them will go, which, okay, that's fair enough. Improved distance display in miles in missions that involve the seismic vibrator. Added an option to display only modded trucks in the truck storage and truck store. That's pretty cool. It'd be nice if they could do it the other way, where it'd display only normal trucks, because the mod trucks can sometimes like slow your menu scroll speed down, although someone did tell me that the menu scroll speed has been greatly improved as well, so that's another good thing. And added an option to turn on or off the engine of the towed vehicle. That's very good. That means while you're actually towing something, as you can see, the loaf is currently I don't know, we're kind of rallying at the minute. He knows it's dangerous, he knows what he's getting into. Yeah, but while I'm actually now winching this loaf, I should be able to bring my menu up and have the option to start or stop its engine. It used to auto start it, and then recently it's just not been starting it at all, so as kind of meet in the middle. At least we can actually have some say in that. And as far as modding goes, this doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but I assume this is a good thing for modders. Added metal detector functionality in the game editor, added crafting zones, added generator zones, added login zones. So again, I assume if a modder is building a map, they can now add crafting zones, generator zones, login zones. Zones for manual only cargo unload, supported custom mutators and brushes, I have absolutely no idea what that means. Added an ability to set DLC requirements in truck mod files. This one's good because which allows tweaks for DLC trucks. Basically, what I said the other week, I don't know if this info come out before I said it, but I can promise I didn't know it was off this. When I basically said how hard could it be for them to just, yeah, have some kind of requirement so that modders can mod DLC trucks, but you have to have the DLC to get access to the truck, because obviously up to now they wouldn't let anyone mod the Bandit, for example, because then people who haven't got the DLC could still select the modded version of the Bandit or the Apache, then people could use the Apache without buying it. Now they've made it a requirement, which now means the modders can mod all the DLC stuff, the new stuff. I really like that. That definitely sounds good. That's one of the yeah, one of the better things it sounds like that's come into this this new phase. And I believe supported custom cargo, so maybe there's like custom cargo situations that modders can make. And that's about it. That's most of the, that's all the news that they've posted so far. Again, as far as it goes, I've heard that it's a bit like Imandra 2.0, so yeah, it's a little bit. We'll see, though. I mean, worst case, I will use mods, but I'd like to do it kind of as the game intended. As you can see, after a bit of rally loafing, I was trying to get the loaf to that little square there, and then you can see, yeah, rally loafing is a dangerous sport. Well, he's dressed as a pirate. He's got a peg loaf, and yeah, I mean, what a goddamn horse for a vehicle. Still running like a beauty. Look at him, even after many times of rally logging. Even though I was just rabbiting on in the background. That is about the end of the DLC talk, by the way. The rest of this was just me messing around quickly. What was I going to say? Yeah, the loaf being towed behind the twice twin steer actually did save it a couple of times from rolling over. I don't know, just the weight, the tension. So anyway, I jumped in the iceberg. Remember that deep water I went through the other day, and I said I wonder what'll happen if I use the iceberg. I was on my way, thought it was all good, but then it was like, oh god damn it. I had to look around. I mean, he's dressed like a pirate, for Christ's sake. I can't really leave him behind, can I? He has an actual peg leg hoof. So pirate's the loaf of being, or whatever it was. I've got to bring him. So look at him, he's happy now. Now we've got two loaves. The reason I'm doing it this way with the crane and all the rest of it, if you remember, I started floating off the top of the Antarctic. So now I've got the loaf in the sideboard, got kind of a roll cage crane sat over the top, so even if he starts to float, he ain't going anywhere. Obviously I can't pack the yellow loaf, because if I pack it I can't then use it to do the zombie winch. That's basically what I'm going to do. This is, I did say I wonder how much easier it would be with the iceberg, so yeah, we'll see. Peg leg loaf is just on the roof because he's joining us, like I said. I mean, if somebody dresses as a pirate and you were having a pirate fancy dress party, it'd be rude to refuse them at the door. So basically, get in the yellow loaf, stick a winch from the back of the loaf to the Azov iceberg, zombie winch our way in, and we'll see how well it goes. Now, peg leg loaf is actually, he is packed to the roof of the Azov, so he definitely ain't going anywhere. And as you can see, we're going pretty deep. I mean, there's balls deep and then there's loaf deep. If you hit loaf deep, she'll probably propose to you. I mean, again, it goes so deep, I can't even see what the hell's going on. That's definitely what she said. But yeah, I mean, at this point, all I know is I can see land in front of me, which is good news. And like I said before, this is just one of the many reasons why you get yourself a loaf, because as amazing as the Azov iceberg is as well, it certainly wouldn't be able to drive over here on its own. It would eventually drown. I admit, we start swerving off a bit. It is what it is. I mean, I have turned it into a zombie, so, you know, 150 IQ was never to be expected. However, we got far enough out that its little snorkels were poking out the water, so we could fire the iceberg up, and away we go. And that is how you cross a ridiculously deep river in what? Last time it took me about 8 hours, now it took barely more than 8 seconds, which, what's that, about 3,600 times faster? So it's a pretty good improvement for his second go. It's because we've got Pirate Loaf with us. King of the Seas. Yeah, well, I thought while I was here, we'll see. I'll try and go from this side to the other side. But like I said, that was about it. I've been messing around doing a few other things tonight, but in general, my plan was just to let you know about the whole Phase 4 situation. I don't know how long it'll take until it gets released. I don't think it's been on like the test server for ridiculously long. So we're probably talking a week to 3 weeks. A week's probably a bit quick, but that's my ballpark estimation. A week to 3 weeks. And yeah, hopefully we've got it. Because I believe, didn't this game come out on the 28th of April last year? So I assume they'd be wanting to get it out around the 28th maybe of this year. Or maybe like a little bit earlier, but you know what I mean. But then that gives them their like year of content thing. Yeah, settle for a bit of zombie winching again. At this point, this is the problem. The camera just... You're so deep in there that the camera can't like rotate enough so you can actually see where you're going. So I wasn't too sure what was going on myself now, but I could see from the reflection in the water, we're back, we're aiming to land. I was like, good, keep going that way, keep zombie winching. Long story short, it turns out that we drove into the water, kind of nearly got to the other side, did a big U-turn, and then we popped back out of the same side, which I don't really mind. That's I'll still count it as a win. We still went pretty deep, we went in and we went out. Pulled in, pulled out, what a goddamn professional. And again, I don't really know why it does it, but it's partly the game. You'll see, we're driving up and then suddenly like the Antarctic wheels just stop. I basically switched to the Antarctic. The handbrake seems to auto-deploy, so turn that off, started her up again like winch, and it started moving again. It's a pretty steep bank to get out of there, so that's why it's probably going a tad little slow at the minute. But yeah, the Loaf and the Azov iceberg can go just about anywhere, because, well, as you can see, we're making it through the deepest river I've certainly found. So yeah, I'll leave it there for this. I won't let the video go on too long with too many of my shenanigans. We'll save them for another day. But anyway, I hope that helps. I'm looking forward to Phase 4. I'm sure the Loaf will have a good old time. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for Patreon members. Get yourself a Loaf, of course. And I'll be back soon.